You know how everyone, and I mean everyone, is talking about a recession coming?
Recession?
Recession.
Recession, recession, recession.
Recession is coming.
The recession is coming.
Well, you would be forgiven if you're quaking in your boots and you're having sleepless nights about your future of how your business is going to do. How do I know this? Dude, I've been struggling with it too. I mean, are they trying to psych us out? Anyone would think they're trying to psych us out. I've been looking into this quite a bit recently to figure out what we can do to get through to the other side of this big, scary recession, intact and hopefully with a stronger business than what we started with. The good news is, I think I found the answer. This guy. Before I explain how we're going to use this, I think it's worth taking a moment to understand exactly what a recession is. Essentially, a recession refers to an economic downturn in a country lasting more than a few months. In the last recession of 2008 to 2009, the recession of the economy lasted a whopping 18 months. Of course, the downturn can go for a lot shorter than this, but either way, it's safe to assume the effects are felt across the board. Big banks and corporations, all the way to smaller businesses like the ones we're running. Why? Because at the crux of the matter, a recession is when there is a low buying mood and people are not feeling comfortable spending as freely as they would in normal circumstances. This can be due to rising cost of goods, due to inflation, interest rate hikes, unemployment, whatever it is. The mood is low. Of course, there's so much more to the whole concept, but for our purposes of leading a business through the recession, the important realization is this. If you're feeling tense and pressured by all of this recession chat yourself, your customer is feeling as scared, if not more. And this is where this guy comes in. Oh wait, where's the text? There you go. Ladies and gents, here we have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I believe the key to holding the challenge you and I are facing is here. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychology theory that explains how humans like you and me are motivated depending on different levels of needs that they have that they're trying to fill in their lives. These levels begin from the most basic needs at the bottom to the most advanced needs at the top. The bottom physiological needs level is all about everything people need to survive. Things like shelter, water, food, warmth, rest, and health. The next level we have are the needs of safety and security from things such as the elements, of violent conditions, health threats, economic disruption, meaning that at this level, the person needs things like job security, stable income, and savings to help protect themselves from the risks they may be facing. Next level up, we have love and belonging. This is where the hierarchy outlines people's need for friendship, intimacy, family, and love. Humans have the need to give and receive love and to feel like they belong to a group. And if they're deprived of these needs, just think about it, we'd feel lonely or depressed. Then at the next level, we have the self-esteem needs, which are related to the person's need to gain recognition, status, and feel respected. And finally, at the fifth level, we have self-actualization. This is where people like you and me, we want to achieve our full potential. We want to strive to become the best that we can possibly be. We can manifest this in a couple of ways. We could maybe obtain skills or education, use the skills that we know and the talents that we have. We could pursue life dreams, or we could seek happiness, maybe by traveling, for instance. Oh, that's all very well, Priyanka, but we have a recession to deal with. What are we going to do with all of this stuff? Okay, I'm getting to it. Give me a minute. This all matters, I promise. The important thing you need to know is that people are spending time on all levels of the hierarchy throughout our day-to-day life. It's not like Super Mario where you're like jumping from level to level. But whenever we are focusing on the lower levels, or if there's a threat to them, then there's more anxiety or tension that we're feeling. As we're focusing our energy on the higher levels of the hierarchy, we shift into a more progressive, growth-orientated headspace. It's usually down to the individual which headspace they're spending the most time in. So when it comes to the recession, the mood of your average buyer and the market as a whole will be on the lower level of safety and security, where they're feeling financially unstable. Like this. Okay, so now this is where we adjust our business strategy. As a business, you're actually already serving one of the Maslow hierarchy needs for your customers. So maybe you're a house alarm company, which means you service the level 2 needs on the hierarchy. Perhaps you sell online courses, With that, you place at the 5th self-actualization level, as do luxury travel companies, by the way. If you're a social media platform or maybe a dating site, you're at level 3, the one for love and belonging. And if you're a health-orientated clinic, you're appealing to level 1, people's physiological needs. Unless you're dealing with cosmetics or something like that, in which case I think you're more of a level 4 or a level 5. If you're a private members club or a hospitality business, I'd say you're a level 4 because you're appealing to the customer's self-esteem needs. Now, the tricky bit comes in. If your customer's mindset has been pulled down to level 2 with the whole recession vibe, unless you're a level 1 or a level 2 business, it's going to be a tough sell. No, of course I don't want to buy a 2-week luxury stay on a beachside villa. Don't you know there's a recession? No, of course I don't want to buy Learn How to Knit in 30 Days course. Don't you know there's a recession? No, I won't be renewing my membership at your stinking club. Don't you know there's a recession? The key is, and yes, the whole video has been building up to this moment, you are going to shift how you're selling to be able to keep the business moving. The thing about a customer who's been dragged to a level 2 headspace, they don't actually want to be there any longer than they need to. In fact, at any sign of an escape, human nature dictates that they will want to move. Unless they're real suckers for punishment, in which case there's nothing you or I can sell to them. So what I'm asking you to do is look at your messaging to your customer when you're marketing or selling to them during this period, and ask how you can redesign this to meet the current customer headspace better. Check this out. So say you typically sell luxury travel packages, which I am treating as a level 5 business. Thinking about it, you could actually argue it's a level 4 too. Anyway, the focus of your current sales and marketing chat, and even the components of the bundles that you're probably focused on, are opulence and status because it's a luxury thing. I would repackage this deal to include spa treatments and massages, healthy meal choices maybe some nature walks, and then sell them this as a break to get some TLC, recuperate, and re-energize your mind, body, and soul. This will speak to the stressed, tense feelings your customer is facing. Another example would be, say, if you're selling that knitting course in 30 days, which is a level 5 business, rather than selling this as a nice to have hobbyist activity, you might want to consider packaging this as a great way to release stress, or maybe even build a dedicated course to learn to make small knitted novelty items to sell as a side hustle. This last one could actually appeal to people who have income strains. If you're an aesthetic procedure surgery, which I classify as a level 4 business, you can adjust sales and marketing to emphasize and celebrate the lower cost or smaller jobs and reduce your spend on promoting the larger, higher ticket items. And then in your marketing, emphasize how doing something for yourself doesn't need to cost the earth. By not emphasizing and pushing out your big stuff, you're not triggering an automatic defense barrier in the customer, and you're slowly edging into their headspace with the smaller stuff. Okay, so the whole point is to look at what you do and change either the marketing message or how you're selling the package to work for the customer who doesn't feel like spending like they normally would. Yes, that's exactly it. But, before you run off and change everything in your business, know this. Don't mention the recession word, especially if you're a business at level 3, 4, or 5. You're providing an escape, so the R word, it's going to repel the customer from you. Instead, know what your customer is going through psychologically and think, how does a person in that headspace let you into their world so you can show them what you can do for them? Next, there is no hard and fast rule about what will work for your business, so be sure to trial, test, and tweak as much as you can to find a sweet spot that works for you. Next, and this I think is very, very important, guard your mindset very carefully during this period. You will struggle to get creative and explore ideas to test if you yourself are running around panicking about the state of play. It is what it is, and you have a business to run. Be empathetic about what's happening, but then get busy. You have a job to do. And finally, when things start to upturn in the economy, don't just change things back immediately. There is a very real chance that your customer has changed permanently through the period of recession, in which case carefully consider what you will change back and why. So as you can tell, recession is essentially about mood and psychology of an economic downturn. For the longest time, I thought recession meant there was no money in the marketplace. Now, I've come to understand that the cash flow issue is actually as a result of inflation. For that, there are actual changes on how you're managing your business on a day-to-day level that you need to put in place. In this video, I share the action steps I suggest you take if inflation and cash flow is what is stressing you out. Action these suggestions along with the ones we went through today, and this should truly set you up to manage the ebb and flow of the coming quarters. You've got this.